everybody. Happy Friday. The weekend of, well, like today, I think is the last day of Passover. This Sunday is Easter. So, yeah, it's a holiday weekend. Welcome to Between the Sheets. We're here on the first and third Friday of every month here on the United Broadcasting Network. Please call in 323-524-2599. The number will appear somewhere on the screen at some point, but it's 323-524-2599. Follow me on Instagram, QTEBrat. And of course, please like our Facebook page, Between the Sheets Podcast. And we have a YouTube page, Between the Sheets Podcast with Gaye Ann Bruno. So like us there, and you can catch all our shows after the video portion of it on the YouTube page. So we have Christian in the house running the boards tonight. Tony's off and frolicking. And we have another mix of lovely ladies, some old, some new. I don't mean they're old. I just mean it's been part of my life for a while. We'll start off with these two started the podcast with me. So I will start with Mara. You are gone. You got vaccinated. What's going on, Mara Shane?
I did get vaccinated. That was quite scary. I was really scared to do it, but I did. I got my second dose of Pfizer a week ago, pretty much a week ago today. So yeah, I'm really glad I did that. I can't wait to actually start going out. And I think I'm still going to be careful, but I really feel glad that I got that done.
Any side effects afterward?
The first time I had just pain in my shoulder after the first shot. The second shot, I did feel upset stomach. I felt like someone was squeezing my arm sometimes. It was very painful. Mm-hmm. And then I had a headache. And then I took Motrin. I waited to take Motrin for a while, and then I took it and I was okay. So all in all, I'd much rather go through this than have to, get, God forbid, like contact COVID,
Right. I agree. And then we have someone who comes and goes. I will not, well, her name is Tristan, who I know her. I love her dearly, but she goes by Roxanne Rosen. Hey, you, what's been going on?
Hey, I've just been working away, going out and partying for the entire month of my birthday. And nice. I'm just really grateful to be alive. This year has been pretty challenging. Been surrounded a lot by death. My stepdad was struggling, fighting for his life for a month. Spent about 2 months in the hospital. So, I decided just to live every single day in the month of March as if it was my birthday. Went out with my friends, ate, went out to eat all the time, which if you all know me, I'm a health nut. I don't go out to eat. And I was eating dessert. So now I have to work on losing all the weight that I gained.
Oh God, you didn't gain that much, silly.
Oh my gosh, you haven't seen me. I'm wearing black.
And anyway, so happy belated birthday, my friend. Aries.
Aries is number one, baby.
Aries. Oh dear Jesus. And then we have two, how it paired this way. We have two lovely women who I adore. They are part of my past, my pastor past. And we have from Canada, Carla Collins.
Yes. Hey guys, how are you? Hello, Durga.
Yeah.
How's it going, eh?
And then, of course, that segues into, as you know, her Durga McBroom. Durgs, what have you been up to? You're not performing yet, are you?
No, not yet. Although I just saw that they're going to open up live performing in LA County as of like April 15th, which is crazy.
What?
But,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see that?
Durga had a date. How'd the date go with the Colombian?
Oh, it was fun. Let's just say, okay, so I hadn't taken my brand new little red Corvette out for a drive since I had my hysterectomy last August. And basically, because I have a new one, because, when they remove your cervix, they have to kind of put a little cuff at the ends to close it off. And so I hadn't used it since then. So I took little red Corvette out for a drive and she went vroom, vroom, and she drives fine. But the only...
Talking about a car, are we?
No, we're talking about her VJJ. And
I know. I'm like, Durga, I had a
red Corvette.
Ooh. I had a hysterectomy
the only thing that didn't work out so well is, I don't know why men do this to themselves. He had a big old Prince Albert ring.
Ew.
And yeah, it kind of hurt.
Piercing down there?
Yeah, down there. And it was the biggest one I've ever seen. I've been with somebody before that had a piercing and it was like tiny and like I didn't notice it. But this one was like fat. It was like gauge 6 or 4, something huge that was kind of like obtrusive. And it got in the way of my mouth game, if you say follow my drift. Because I kind of pride myself.
Can't you take it off, or
You
is
know,
it
you've got 3 women
No.
here that are gay, and I'm just sitting here going, I'm trying to visualize, but it's just like, no, no, no.
I love the look on our faces, Gaye Ann, when
I
she
know,
said
it's like-
that. We're like, what?
None of my gay
She's gonna tell us how dinner came out and how her dinner was because she made it, and we just went right to the Corvette. Okay.
I know. Well, I made a fabulous dinner. We had a great dinner, and we watched it. We started watching the movie, but you know how that goes, and we finished. Because we were at my house. I cooked him dinner, and I made a fabulous dinner. I made this like seared salmon with a lemon cream sauce and cauliflower rice and a great salad with like feta or goat cheese. Blue cheese and dried cherries is my new like salad
that
thing.
sounds good.
It was really good.
She's got a theme: cherries in the salad, red Corvette. You know, it's just like
Well, it was the night. It was the night that I reemerged. You don't understand because even before my surgery,
and it was a full moon.
Oh, speaking of, before we go any farther, the woman who is asking is a new friend, but I've known her for years. A new friend, Ronnie Loiza. Good? Is that okay?
Loiza. I know it looks complicated.
It does. It's very confusing.
It's fast. It's the original rebels from France and Spain. They were always rebelling, saying they don't belong to any country.
Hey, Durga, doesn't she remind you a little bit of Martha Quinn?
Yes.
A little bit.
I noticed that.
Why?
But wait, aside from all of the stuff with the guy I went out with, who's a really sweet, really nice guy, by the way, and a Colombian with blue eyes, hey, can't go wrong there. What I've really been doing is really concentrating, and Ronnie, you'll like this. I've been concentrating on my fitness. I have lost, since February 26th, I've lost 13 pounds.
Yeah.
In a healthy way.
Yes. Yeah. I have been nutrienting, basically, which is where you do this like smoothie shred protocol, which is like 48 to 64 ounces of green smoothies with 75% leafy greens, 25% frozen fruit. I stay with berries because they're lower carb. I'm putting moringa, I'm putting my mushroom blend, I'm putting collagen, all this stuff in my smoothies. And then I like have one meal and I'm dropping weight like crazy. And also,
and you're good with it? Like you like your habit?
Yeah, okay. It's good. It's good. And yesterday I had a total allergy attack too, because I went for a 2-mile hike with my friend. We busted butt in Topanga and went like part of it's uphill, and I was screaming and crying and came down. And by the end of it, I was sneezing my head off. So
oh my gosh, that's been me this entire time, sneezing my head off with my allergies. And Durga, I also got a hysterectomy in October, and I know like they're like, you cannot have sex for 3 months. I'm like, I don't know how I'm not going to have sex for 3 months. So I don't know if you did, Durga, but there was like hysterectomy support groups on Facebook.
Yes,
Some of these girls were saying that they started having sex at 6 weeks. I'm like, oh no. Yeah. And then I was reading all the horror stories. If you start having sex too long, you could tear your cup, and then you need surgery again, and you need to wait another 3 months. I'm like, so forget it. I just like waited.
Look, I haven't had sex in a year.
Okay, there would be no way the first time having sex after that surgery, I would have chosen anyone big.
It wasn't that big though. He was a really nice guy.
Face. I just love Mara's expression.
Mara's like, I can't believe you're talking about this, but it's true.
Carla is so legal and stoic. It's like
I'm still on the Prince Albert because I'm not much of a Royals fan.
I know,
right?
I'm just like,
No.
okay, yeah.
On a
You
horse
needed,
farm.
you needed to start small and normal. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, try with the scallion.
He was not small. He was not small. He was
You
actually
needed to
really,
start small.
really pretty size for the test
Enough
drive.
about his penis. Are you going to see him again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Of course I
good.
am.
Oh, by the way,
But you
Durga.
guys see, you don't understand. Well, Gaye Ann does, but I had not been with anybody since December of 2019. So I was like,
girl.
okay,
Like that
okay,
was
enough
way
is
too
enough.
long. I don't know what you were thinking. Don't wait that long.
Look,
Next
I'm
time you wanna
February- wait a minute, wait.
that, let me know and I'll be over your house anytime.
Oh,
okay?
stop. Don't
And then we'll start working out together too, because I now need to lose weight. I
I want
couldn't
to go hike
work
with you
out
guys.
because
I
of
want to
the
go hike
surgery.
with Gaye Ann. I got to get out now.
I have to
gotta
hike,
get
but
out.
I want to talk about collagen. Collagen.
Yes.
Like, okay, I won't take it because it's made from some animals, something or other.
It
Gelatin.
is.
Well, it
I won't do
depends.
it.
Bone marrow. It's
I won't,
gelatin.
I won't do it.
Depends where you get it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
There's
doesn't come from an animal, I will not do it. So there's got to be some vegetarian option out
There are.
There are.
Yeah. 'cause
Collagen comes from bovine. It comes from their bones, but you can do other collagen supplements and things that make your collagen grow on their own. I'll give you what, but also make sure you get enough omega-3s along with your omega-6s. Our American diet is full of omega-6s. We need to get more omega-3s. And
Where
yes,
do
you
you
get
get those?
you can get like everybody. Tilapia was like the big rage for a long
No.
time. I don't know why. Tilapia is full of omega-6. No,
But
we need
it's a
omega-3.
junk fish. Ew, no, ew.
It's gross. I hear it's gross.
Salmon, I eat salmon a lot, but you also take omega-3 supplements, you know?
But
I
isn't
take-
it better? I mean,
my supplement game is super strong. Like my tea could light up the Bellagio. It's very an apartment block. But you know what else you can take, Anne? But this might be a little radical, but I take sulfur, organic sulfur,
Nice.
but where do you
twice
get
a
that?
day.
Like, where would you get organic sulfur?
I get it from a specific place. I think it comes out of Utah because I like my sulfur like my man Mormons. So I can get you the website if you like, because like the stuff in Whole Foods, I found it's got a lot of chemicals and other crap in it. So I just like the really pure stuff, and it
What
makes
does
a big
sulfur
difference.
do? What's the sulfur benefit? I don't know what that's about.
Well, according to this website, just about does everything besides wear at Prince Albert. But we don't really get, because of chemical farming that came in the 50s and 60s, we don't really have any sulfur in our diets naturally. So this is it's amazing for skin, hair, and also, of course, almost it apparently reverses all kinds of diseases. And I found it makes a big difference. So. And a lot of people equate it with collagen. That's why I brought it up.
Well, I was
in
thinking about
France-
this.
In
I
France,
want to show you all the stuff that I'm taking. Look.
like we have Evian and all that. If you look at a bottle of water, there are ingredients. Different waters have different minerals,
Yes.
and how much. Badoit, Badoit. It smells like eggs, like rotten eggs,
Uh-huh.
because it has a lot of sulfur. It's just the natural water from that spring. And Evian's like the natural water, not Evian, Perrier. It's the natural water from that spring. So a lot of athletes in France, like you see sports events, you see Badoit is like one of the sponsors because it has a lot of sulfur. So to run a lot, you need a lot of sulfur. And there are vegan collagen supplements. In fact, there's some gummies out there. It's lysine that you need, lysine, vitamin A, and vitamin C. It's a mixture of that, and it creates collagen. And
But wait, did you guys see this?
Collagen don't work. You got to
wait.
put it internally.
But Ronnie and Carla, I mean, I know you guys specifically like are like a women our age, 40 and up. What should we be taking? Like, what are the staples women our age should be taking?
Eat clean, not processed,
Right.
Butter is good for you. Butter is not bad. And olive oil is great, but you know how we went through this whole, I think in the 70s and 80s, I know my mom used to drink Tab and everything was low fat and non-fat. We went through this non-fat crap craze. Well, everybody got fat because nothing had fat in it.
Mhm.
Fat does not make you fat. Sugar does. So less refined sugar. And we're talking donuts and pastries and cereal. So just eat your eggs, eat your dairy if you can stand dairy. Eat clean is what I say, whatever that is. And
Now, Ronnie-
chocolate, by the way, is clean.
Now, Ronnie, you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, are you?
No, I just happen to love beans. I've always loved beans, and people always think I'm vegetarian. I'm like, no, I just really like beans.
But Carla, you are, right? Are you a vegan or a vegetarian, Carla?
I'm vegan for the last 6 months, mostly vegetarian, but yeah, vegan. And like Durga, like Miss Durga, I do a smoothie every day and put a lot of stuff in that. And it's got a celery base. And if you're talking about things that are great for chicks, there are certain supercharged foods for hormones, and that can include avocados. Cinnamon is great.
Taking a lot of that.
Manuka. I mean, I'm a vegan, but I have Manuka honey because it is, I mean, ask any, Maori in New Zealand, that stuff is miraculous, but I put all the stuff in.
What is the honey doing for you? Like, I mean, I don't.
Cleans you out naturally. Do you know the Egyptians used to do honey, to put honey on their skin, and it would, like, if they injured themselves, instead of biotin or whatever, we use a little honey, and it gets rid of the scars, and it fixes you. It's reparation for the cells. You can imagine when you eat it, it repairs the cells.
So Carla, because I haven't tasted or I've seen that Manuka honey. What's the difference between that and organic, like really organic honey?
I think the way it's farmed, for me, Manuka honey, I'm telling you, Dr. Zira, who is my Chihuahua, had a growth on top of her head. The Manuka honey took it away. It's just also, I mean, I've never taken, I'm all for the vaccines because I want this done as well. But if I'm being really honest, I would love to just take, I wish that essential oils and, a dream catcher could fix this for me, because I don't even take Advil. So
wait, you guys, I want to show you everything that I'm taking right now. It's insane.
Look, going to show us everything.
This is like all the stuff that I'm taking.
Oh my God, that's a lot of supplements.
Yeah, it's a lot of supplements, and some of it goes to my sweet. This stuff, Rewind Cherry, that's awesome. I'm taking Moringa, which is really good for a lot of different things. And then for the hormone balance, this stuff called Moon Balance. It's a powder. And speaking of honey, if you ever get a cold sore, you put honey on it. It works better than Zovirax.
Okay, so let's
hold on, Peanut Craig Gallagher. We have a caller.
Oh. Yay!
Hello, welcome to Between the Sheets. Who's calling?
Hi there.
Hi, who's calling? What's your name?
Oh, yeah, okay, it is me. All right. Hi, I'm Julianne.
Hi, Julianne. Welcome to Between the Sheets. Do you have a question, or do you want to be part of the conversation? Do you have anything to add?
No, I actually had a different subject, so I can wait if you're...
Nope, bring it up. We're ready.
Okay. So I wanted to kind of talk about something where there's this project I want to do, but I'm also kind of like hiding from it a little bit because it involves admitting that, stuff happened to me, and I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing. And you know how we all try to be perfect. So I guess I was thinking maybe the subject would be how we all try to be perfect and how we should kind of get over that.
But we are perfect. I mean, the reality is, the broad strokes are we have to have self-love. And I think starting with self-love, not that you're perfect, but you try and strive for perfection or to be the best person you can be. Just be the best you. Now, I am a type A personality. I'm sure a few ladies on this show are too. I do strive for perfection, and it used to be frustrating and disappointment if I didn't reach that. But I think seriously, as I get older, I become more realistic in that, knowing that nothing can be perfect. Even if you plan, like in my job, I have to produce things and on paper, and I've crossed all the T's and dotted the I's. And it looks like once I step onto the set, everything's going to be perfect. And then something happens. If I sat there and spun at that moment about, boy, I didn't see this happen. God, I fucked up. Or, I don't. What you do is you sit there and you shoot from the hip and you become a problem solver, not to make it. Do it. So I'd like to know a little bit more what you can, because it's kind of vague. What kind of project? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm trying to put together a way to help other people who are in the shoes that I was in a few years ago.
And what was that?
So I'm a consultant, and I run my consulting practice, and and then a few years ago I got cancer, and that's where I started at about hiding it, right? I hid it from everybody because I was afraid that, I would lose clients, I would lose staff, I would lose a lot of things. And as it turned out, I actually kind of did lose some things, but, not all of it. And I was able to recover, and my business is recovered and recovering still. But I just want to help people now in that same boat and just say, look, maybe you can't blab all of your problems to everybody, but it's important to be able to admit you're not perfect. And
it's really great is when something happens to you, like for example, like I went into surgery last year, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be telling people that I was going to get a hysterectomy or not. And when that happens, I feel you really see who your true friends are. You really see who reaches out to you when you do let people know, because a lot of us do strive to be perfect and look like we always have it all together. But, we're all human. We're not computers. And when we let other people know, it's okay to accept help, and it's okay to have them just give you love. People were reaching out to me via text, phone call, on Facebook Messenger, it was just nice to have all that love and support, even though I didn't physically see anybody because of COVID and, being in the surgery and I couldn't go out. But it's not about being perfect, because in my world, you're perfect, whole and complete, exactly how you are and exactly how you're not. I mean, my belief is God made every single one of us. And therefore we're all perfect and we're all in God's creation. And that's just how I view the world. And that's what makes, we're all different from each other. We should just
Julianne is saying
respect each other and accept each other for being different. And then when we're going through health issues, just really allowing other people to be there for us, I think is the biggest thing. Is this really what Gaye Ann was saying? It's about self-love, and just it's okay to accept help. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to lean on people when we need to lean on people.
Absolutely. Ronnie, you had something to say?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Julianne, and I love that, Roxanne. I love that you let people in, because it helps. It helps other people to help you, and it helps you, because that's unity. But may I ask, Julianne, exactly how do you want to help others or other women? Like, you mean that we're in the corporate world and all of a sudden they get diagnosed and they're afraid it's going to affect their business? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they have a corporate role and they're afraid that, they'll lose all the progress they've made and all the hard work, and they won't, they'll lose their job and not be able to get another one. Or maybe they have a business and they're afraid that, they'll lose the business. But yeah, I mean, really big companies take care of their people, but, at least their senior people. But if you're not in that particular position of, being a super high profile executive, what do you do? And yeah, those are the people I want to help.
Nice.
And speaking of asking for help, but I think, was it Gaye Ann who said we need to ask for help? I haven't figured out how to do it. I figured out a lot of things about it. I figured out what worked for me and for some people I know, but Julianne, I don't know how to make this.
It's very easy to ask for help. In a way, let's start with, you have an idea, and this goes in general, because this is what I do for a living. So you have an idea, put everything down on paper. This is how I would help. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you think it looks like? What do you think the outcomes is? Who do you think you'll be reaching? Sort of put together a plan, because you can't ask for help until you really focus as to what you want to do. Like, how does it look? What does it look like? Does it look like this or does it look like that? What are the topics you want to discuss? So I think you have to seriously put together your ideas on paper of what it looks, and it doesn't have to be linear. Just write ideas, write thoughts, write this. And then once you see it all in front of you, or at least that's what works for me, then you can sit there and formulate, how do I get this done? That's where asking for help comes in. Then the first people you ask for help from are your other friends. This is what I do. I show my friends or talk to them about my idea, and then I get their feedback. And once I get their feedback, and some of them are totally into it, then, you know, maybe they suggest, well, hey, maybe you should do this, or let me call my friend. And it becomes this amazing network of support and people paying it forward. So I think, you know, you have to really know what you'd like to do. And then if you, or at least ideas, and then get other people involved, because, you know, when you want to help somebody, when people want to help someone, we all are altruistic. We all have that. I mean, we're all empaths too. We all want to help people in some degree. It's like with Durga. I mean, Durga and I, for sure. Durga has an idea. She calls me up. Gaye Ann, I have this idea. And then she's talking about it. And even if she asks me for something, I'll sit there and go, no, I can't do it, but maybe I know somebody that can. Or, hey, Durgs, why don't you reach out to this person to maybe try it from this angle? So again, it really is about bringing more people in. You know, it does take a village. You know, you can have an idea of this is what I want to do, but then you need support. And it's not really difficult. The person who's stopping, all right, I'm going to be very honest, Julianne, the person who's stopping you from moving forward is yourself. And
probably.
And it's because you, my opinion, and in my opinion only, you haven't really formulated, you're not confident yet about what you want to do because it's all out there in the ether. And I think if you could just hone it down to seriously what you want to do and start to talk to people that will support what your idea is, then you will be more confident because it's your idea. You have to be the salesperson. And in any business, if you're not confident, you're not projecting that, no one's going to fucking buy anything from you, to be honest.
But can I just add, Gaye Ann and Julianne, there's an extraordinary beauty and connection and vulnerability that I think is going to surprise you. Like, I think when we show our vulnerability and, you know, all of our sides is when we have the biggest impact on everyone, because that way people know you can empathize. I mean, there are so many people who have been through cancer. I think you're going to find that it opens up a world to you as opposed to being frightened of it. Personally, I think when we show the side we're most frightened to show is when we make the greatest connection and have the greatest impact. So I think that you should look forward to this as opposed to being worried about it. I think when you step forward with this, it's probably part of your great purpose.
Yes, I have a question though. When you say you're having trouble asking for help, are you talking about asking for help formulating this idea that you have, or just as a person who is dealing with cancer, asking for help?
Oh, back when I was dealing with having cancer, I did manage to find people to help, and I really was blessed. There were people who were just wonderful. But now that I'm stepping into paying it forward, I find that it isn't necessarily my strength.
Okay.
This confidence and marketing side of things.
Right. Okay. Well, then you need to obviously find people that is their strength. But I would apply some of the same principles for when you were asking for help as someone who was dealing with cancer and you had to be vulnerable in that way. Now you're asking for help to present how to ask for help to other people. So it's very much the same principle. You, as Gaye Ann said, formulate your idea. Make sure that, because if you're asking for somebody to support you in something, they're going to say, support you in what? And you have to go, in this is what I've created. This is my concept. I might need a little bit of help, kind of shaping it and polishing it and finishing it. But this is the basic premise of what I want to do. And then you just have a big mouth too. Tell everybody. That's what I do. When I need help with something, I knock on every door. And in fact, I'm having some trouble with my building at the moment, my apartment building, with the management company. I've talked to the city, I've talked to the health department, and they're, starting to prove to be less than helpful in this. Like, they just don't really want to deal with it. So I reached out to my city councilwoman, and she's on it. So just look at who you could ask and ask them all. And keep asking until you get a yes.
So
that's how you get help.
Thanks, Julianne.
I have to tell Julianne one thing.
That.
Yes, Mara.
Yeah, Julianne, I just want to say that it helps everybody when you come forward with a story where you're overcoming adversity of some kind, because everybody's so concerned with image, and especially when we live in a society with Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff, Instagram, and they're trying to present themselves in a certain way. So when somebody like you goes through something major and you have the courage to come out and share that with everybody, it's like part of your calling, why you're here.
Yeah, that's what I think. And also try to distill it down to its most basic, simple terms so that you can share your idea, and people, as everybody says, they have to be able to understand it. You have to be able to say it in almost one sentence or one mission statement, right? So try to keep distilling it down so you can communicate it as clearly as possible.
And that's what I was asking, Julianne, do you have the idea yet? Yeah. Like one main idea, or are you just still formulating it?
Well, the main idea is to walk these business owners through like a roadmap process of how do you get rid of stress? How do you get the decisions made? How do you get things changed inside your business when it feels like, it was always too much, right? And now cancer's happened and it's way too much. So I want to walk people through step by step. Here's how you get through it.
Well, you know what? I would, to be honest, if you have any friends or friends of friends that are in HR, and any company, they would probably be able to help you as to how to formulate it and implement what you want that will be very conducive for companies and individuals to buy in to what your platform is. That's just a thought.
That's a great thought. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I got a lot of them. So thank you, Julianne. Thanks for watching Between the Sheets. Thank you. I hope, that, we'll look out for you, and, call in anytime, and we appreciate you, and we wish you luck with whatever you do, and knock on wood, you're healthy. So thank you for being you.
Thanks. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your show.
Thank you. Everyone, you're watching Between the Sheets here at United Broadcasting Network, the first and third Friday of every month. Call us, 323-524-2599, 323-524-2599. Someone make up a jingle, Durga, in your spare time. So, it's like, I'm getting so tired of talking about COVID, I swear to fuck. But, that what happens with COVID has really, impacted the world and how we interrelate with each other, how to communicate. I mean, look, I like technology. I like it. I thought Zooms were fun. I don't find them fun anymore. I find them tedious. I find them annoying. I find out, in the beginning, it's like, God, I have I've got like 6 in a row, I haven't eaten. But what I do find working from home is, and we were talking about this with a few of my friends that work in other sort of technically 9-to-5 jobs, is that moving into COVID and you're working from home, that it's a 24/7 job.
Yeah, there are no barriers, no borders. People email you, contact you. You're always working.
And everybody is at the stress level or the anxiety level. And it's like, people say to me, Gaye Ann, how do you keep it together? And I'm like, sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. But to the point of like hiding it anymore, not so much. It's, but one thing I haven't done, and I don't do, but I'm finding myself doing more and more, is unplugging. I am not an unplugger. I am an energizer buddy. And it's hard, which is weird because most people, like, they meditate and they relax, or they turn off the cell phone and all this other stuff. And I've always found it very difficult. But now I'm so overloaded with all the technology and all the meetings and all the this and all of that, that I really have to unplug. And I do miss, going into the office, and I do miss, brainstorming in person. I do miss not coming into the studio and doing the show with all you lovely ladies. So, how have you ladies been sort of coping with your world during keeping your sanity during COVID?
You want to know the one thing that I love? I never thought I'd ever say I love living in OC. I was always such an LA girl, but OC has basically remained open this entire time. Just really like what you said, Gaye Ann, unplugging, go to the beach, meditating, unwinding, and just really knowing who your true friends are. All the popular kids aren't popular anymore, are they? Because there's no place for the popular kids to go. So then it comes down to, who are your true friends? Who's calling you? Who's checking on you? Who lives by you to hang out with you, that's COVID safe, that's willing to meet social distancing, that's willing to do fun activities, go running outside, biking outside. It just really getting to know yourself and feeling good and confident in yourself. Because let me tell you, once everything opens back up, those popular kids will never end up being those popular kids again. Because who really made them the popular kids? It's really about us knowing our confidence. And
but the thing is, Roxanne, Tristan, Roxanne, whatever, the popular kids, or the clique, whatever, they're going to go back to where they were, because I don't think those kind of types of people evolve. I really don't. And that's probably horrible to say, but in this time, and I don't know about you ladies, but in this time, I really did truly find who my true friends are. Like, seriously. And, I've got a lot of people around me, but I've only been talking to 4, 5, or 6 tops. Now, Carla, how about you?
Yes, I'd love to ring in on this, because my joke is that every Zoom show is shaving 6 months off of every comedian's life. So here's the thing. I know it's probably different where you all are, and LA is now much more open. When I first came to Canada, Canada was more open, but we, as of midnight tonight, go into another 4-week lockdown. Oh, so one of the reasons I'm on here is to whore out my new album, Panned Epic, available in pre-order for iTunes, because support comedians. We've been the rodeo clowns through this, and I felt like that was part of, how I could contribute by doing lots of live shows and keeping people laughing through this. I also kind of, one of the ways to cope, I think I told you about this last time I was on the show, is I created this comedic meditation where I do 20, 30 minutes of comedy and then take people through a guided meditation. And that works better online because people can be pantless and drool and fart and not feel judged and not have to drive home. Everybody seems to dig it. But I also tried to see it as an adventure of sorts, I mean, I have never been outside of a giant city. I'm now on a horse farm. I became a vegan. I'm a cat woman. I watch Firefly. I'm now a Katherine Heigl fan. I don't know. I might think of Scientology next. I'm kidding. So,
no, save her.
I'm joking. Obviously, I'm a Kabbalist. Please, it's like the blood and the Crips. So I'm thinking, sometimes when and of course everybody's got COVID fatigue. I have imaginary friends with benefits at this point. I'm over it. But every now and then I try to see it as a bit of an adventure. That and the animals, and that sort of helps because we are, they say, may you live in interesting times. And we're living in a time where, glory holes are more acceptable than drinking holes, at least where I am. So I'm just trying to embrace the whole mofo. I really am.
Well, Carla, I mean, lockdown means like going back to like stage, like you can't go out, nothing. You stay at home, period.
They're not doing it as a stay-at-home order because, you know, the weather's a little bit nicer, and I think just for everybody's mental health, they're not imposing that. But yeah, there's, you know, things aren't open. There are no indoor dining, no outdoor dining. It's you know, you can not hang out with anybody besides people in your own place. Again, it's a big advantage to be north of the city, because it remained a little bit more open here, and I can go for long walks and not be masked up. And, you know, so, yeah. So, and I think, you know, this is like the third lockdown, you know, it's like, you know, Wonder Woman 84. It's like the sequel's just not as much fun. And now we're in the third, we're in the police academy territory where it's like the fourth fucking lockdown and everybody's had it.
But Carla, is it because the cases are rising in Canada now?
Well, remember, we've got universal health care. So yeah, there's a alarming rate. There are no more ICU beds. So when the number ticks up, it's not quite as strict as New Zealand, guys, but a lot more strict than the US. They take that into account. So when there's a surge, and there's a huge problem right now in some places with the variant, and they've just closed down the whole province because people from the big cities were coming out, you know, hanging out with
closed. Like no one from any country, especially the United States, can't come into Canada. It's just all locked.
No. It's I mean, yeah, I'm sure there was always exceptions, but yeah, like I mean, my older gentleman lover cannot come visit me here. I could come back because I was a Canadian citizen. And there's a strict quarantine. You've got to pay $2,000. You've got to stay at a government appointed hotel. So wow, that's one of the reasons I also stayed here, because I was doing some work. So yeah, it's you know, sense of humor, meditations, great friends, and I have a slight dependency on port wine.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad I'm not in Canada. I thought the United States was bad. I would, if I were in Canada, I would vote out every single one of those politicians, just like I'm voting out our governor of California.
All right, we're not getting political. I don't want to talk about politics. Yawn.
I feel for you, Carla. I really do. I'm so sorry that you're going into another lockdown.
It's a drag, but I'm also in a magnificent place, and it is my home country, and it's been, you know, there are a lot of advantages to it. And like, as I said, I'm not here to be political. I'm here to whore up my, again, Pandemic. You can pre-order it on iTunes.
Also, I have to say, oh, sorry, Gaye Ann, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Mara, please.
One of the things that has helped me cope, which has been good and bad, is food. So, food and Melrose Place shows that take my mind off what's going on in the world. I would say, like, have you guys watched reruns of Melrose Place? Because they are ridiculously over the top good. Oh,
Mara, please don't say that. I mean, Golden Girls is one thing, but Melrose Place, really?
I'm with Mara.
Melrose Place, they don't make them like they used to anymore. Like, you know, that show is so great for escapism. So I'm not completely off topic. I'm trying to say that some of the things that have helped me cope have been mindless shows like Melrose Place, where I don't have to think, but like everyone's stabbing each other in the back and having multiple personalities. And
sounds like a Saturday night in West Hollywood.
I know.
That's normal. The Real Housewives fill in the blank.
That's my building.
Juicy. It is very juicy. Do yourself a favor if you want to get lost in it. You know, there's 6 endless seasons.
No, wait. My guilty pleasure that's gotten me through this. I'm so mad at myself for getting totally addicted to it, but 90 Day Fiance.
That's right.
Everyone's talking about that.
It's so bad.
I'm
going to tell you, ladies, if there was any sort of television, when Carla, myself, Durga, Nicole, and Lisette were doing the show, Carla and Durga, you guys were, and even Nicole, you guys were, and Lisette, they would all talk about The Bachelor or these reality shows, and I just sit there and go, huh? I mean, it's not. Look, it's brainless television and it's fun, Although, what's that one I started watching? It's about the rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians? The
No,
movie?
Bling,
No, that's the movie.
Bling or
Oh,
something
yes,
like.
Bling. Is it
Bling.
called Bling?
I think it was called Bling. I am so into
Bling
that.
Empire, yeah.
Like Bling Empire. Bling Empire. I was like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I'm like looking at, and I'm like following all these people on Instagram now, thinking maybe they'll invite me to a party because these people are fucking amazing. I mean, the amount of God, you know, however they made the money, God bless them. I don't care, but their lives are nothing like nothing. Even if I was rich, my life would be nothing like theirs. It is just throwing up. Let's go to Paris for dinner. I mean, shit like that. That's the fun stuff that I like. You know, that's like real life Dynasty. I was so addicted to back in the day. So real. I mean, but you know, and then did anyone see the Justice League, the new movie, the Justice League?
Well, it's funny. That's what we were watching on my date, and we stopped watching. But
okay,
yeah, I've seen it. It's so much better. Than the Joss Whedon version. It's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like that scene in The Wizard of Oz where you go from black and white and then she lands in Oz and it's in color. That's how like stark the difference is. It's so much better.
I mean, that was Wonder Woman 84. The best part was the last scene.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. I just heard today, though, for us out here in California, at least, and I don't know if everyone in the U.S., that movies are opened again today.
Yes.
Really? Oh my God.
So, yeah.
I have a couple of friends that went, and you know, like a theater that's supposed to be for 300 to 500 people. There's 6 people, and they rope out the chairs and they rope out the rows. And she's like, "I'm so back to be back in the theater." And I just have to wait till my husband gets his second shot and wait 3 weeks, and then we're good. But yeah, people are starting to go out again.
You know,
that wasn't one of my favorite misses. Like I could do okay without going to the movies for a year and a half. That wasn't one.
Me either. I want live performances. I want comedy shows. I want music. I want that.
Ballet.
You have that in Orange County. You have everything. So every single weekend I'm at.
Roxanne, I get that, but it's not like the big names are going out. You know, and I support local talent. Absolutely. I think local talent, or I think it's great, but I want to go to the Greek again. I want to go to the Hollywood Bowl again.
Yeah,
I want to do that again. Again, I'm with you, Mara. Movies, I don't give a shit about movies. I don't care. But, you know, like restaurants. I mean, there are some restaurants that are still closed and still not wanting, like Merrick's and Basics in WeHo. I thought they'd for sure be open. They're closed. The other night I wanted to go to eat at Bossa Nova, and the line was down the block. So I ended up eating at Chibo. But it's, you know, I think we're slowly starting to get back to normal.
Yes.
And the weather's beautiful here. I don't know what the weather's like up there, Carla, but the weather's been absolutely gorgeous here.
I know, I've heard. Durga can guess what I miss the most. And you'll remember this moment on the podcast. I miss dancing, Durga. Like, I mean, it's one thing.
Dancing.
You know.
And like the club, or like dancing in a restaurant or on your own?
Oh, Carla likes to dance on the tables and the bars.
Trust me, I would dance at a garage sale given the opportunity. Like, I will dance anywhere, but yes, I do miss dancing in clubs and dancing with people.
Yeah.
And dancing. Taking a dance class.
You learned a lot about yourself this year. But I mean, you really did learn what am I made of and what's important to me and who's important to me. Not just who remembers me, but who is important to me and what are my priorities. I let go of a lot of things that really weren't that important anymore.
Exactly.
Like stuff and things I did, you know, busy is not productive.
Right.
So you start appreciating the little things that you just took for granted before.
That's it.
And not to get political or anything, but we had to clamp down in order to get better. We just had to. That was it.
Why is that political? It's not political.
Okay, good.
It's science. It's political. It's not political.
I also found out what I really wanted to do the rest of my life. What do I want to do when I grow up? And I'm 55, turning 56. I had a job. Now I have a mission. You know,
So what
so
do you want
a
to
lot
do
of us
now?
found out, what do we want to do if tomorrow were my last day? What am I leaving as a legacy? What do I want on my tombstone or my obituary? I know I'm going a little too far, but really, was I just working for the dollar? Now I want something to leave behind that made a damn difference.
You have a
So
good
what is
point,
that?
a good point.
No, go ahead.
I was going to
I
say,
just want to know what it was that you discovered you wanted to know.
I don't want to be a personal trainer anymore, and I love training, but it was just really driving around working for the dollar. And I love fitness because I think anyone can work out no matter what, whether you're in a wheelchair or you're 65 years old or whoever, because fitness is part of self-care. But I have turned into a fitness coach. That's different. That's going layer. Why do you want to lose 5 pounds? Well, because I'll look better in my bikini. Why do you want to look better in your bikini? And it goes down like 9 layers.
oh, the psychological.
Esteem and the
Nice.
confidence. It really goes back to their childhood half the time. I'm really finding out almost therapeutic, like this is really why and what's up and how I feel about myself. It's hard for many women to look in the mirror in the morning and say, I love you to themselves.
Oh yeah.
They can't. They're like, nah, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you.
That's
There was
hard.
a friend of mine. There was a friend of mine because we all have body issues. Even if people are thin, we all as women have body issues. And I mean, there was a friend of mine. She passed away. She used to say to me, she used to always, there's 2 things she always used to say to me. If someone, be a taker, not a taker in a bad way. Learn how to receive. You give, but you don't know how to receive. And the second thing that she kept saying is you have to learn to love yourself. You talk a good game, or you act like you do. You act it, but you really believe it. And she said to me, every morning you should stand in front of your mirror naked, really, and just sit there and go, I love you. And it is so awkward to do that, because as you're looking, you're seeing the imperfections, you're seeing this, you're seeing that. And I think as women, and I can't speak because I'm not a man, I don't know what men do, but we are so hypercritical of ourselves as women. And Mara brought up a topic to eventually be brought up about body image. So Mara, why don't you take it from there? Talk about the ladies that you found on Instagram.
Okay, so what's helped my body image, and I have a really poor body image. I've been heavier. Oh, thank you, whoever said that. I have had really bad body image where I'm always striving for perfection. Like I'm not perfect. I need to look better all the time, and then I'll be worthy if I'm, and if someone doesn't want to date me, it's because I'm too fat, or the whole fat phobic thing. So what's helped me in the last 6 months, besides actually taking control of what I eat and exercising all the time, is on Instagram, there are body positive women on there with accounts that I become obsessed with. Women that are very overweight, women that are morbidly obese even, and then women that are just average like me, or bigger than me, whatever, that are showing themselves in their bikinis, in their underwear, and they're normalizing cellulite and rolls, and they're showing it off, and they're just absolutely embracing it. And I never grew up with anything like that on the media. It was always just the skinny girls, where the
Melrose Place.
Melrose Place. I watch Melrose Place right now because they're like toothpicks, like bobbleheads. Freaking Heather Locklear. But so what I'm saying is, being inundated every day with these accounts on Facebook where they are celebrating their fat and their imperfections, and then you have all these fans that are like, girl, you look great, you look amazing. And then you get women with their Instagram accounts that are like, hey people, just to let you know, your body was never the problem. We are in diet culture, and the media and society has done a number on all you people, because it's normal to have textured skin and extra weight. Like, why should that hold you back from living a good life? Which
Mom,
it has done for me.
I'm going to interrupt you because we have another caller.
Okay, sorry.
No, don't apologize. You're going to finish. Hello, welcome to Between the Sheets. Who's calling?
Hey, Gaye Ann, it's Valerie Milano.
Valerie Milano.
Oh,
Yay.
Valerie, are
Hey,
you
by the way,
Italian?
Of course I am. That name? Hell yeah, girl. Anyway, I am in Palm Springs, at my home in Palm Springs right now with a glass of wine. I'm naked in my jacuzzi, and I know you all want to be here.
Yeah.
Let's do it sometime.
All right, let's go.
Yep, let's go.
It's fucking hot out here. But I wanted to tell you, Gaye Ann, that I love Mara and I love Durga, but I really like your 3 new ones. They're beautiful ladies. Thank you for being there.
Thank you, Val. By the way, everyone, Val, she has, Val's a reporter and she owns the Hollywood Life. So she also, I've known her for 30 years at least. And she has been a rotating co-host too when she's not globetrotting to Palm Springs and back. So we miss you, Val. I miss you. I miss seeing you. I want to go to the house here or
Thank
Palm
you.
Springs.
Anytime. Bring your crew, man. I just got my 2nd COVID shot, so I'm good to go. I'm drinking a lot. That's how I'm dealing with COVID, but what else is new? And I'm going to a wellness retreat to get cleaned out and get back on track, and hopefully the whole world will be on track. So I'm going for 2 weeks to Sedona, Arizona.
Oh,
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Well,
I just wanted to call in and tell you.
Well,
What?
thanks for calling in, and please report back because I'd love to hear about the wellness thing when you get back.
I will for sure. Y'all have fun. I'm watching on Facebook, and love you. Love you all. Thank you, Gaye Ann. You're amazing.
Thanks, Val. Love you too.
Bye.
So
I'm going
getting
to Santa
back to
Fe
body
in
image.
May. I'm going to Santa Fe. I've been to Sedona, but I'm going to Santa Fe. I think I told you guys. And I read the airline thing today. I didn't know this. You have to have your COVID shots on American Airlines 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks before your second shot. I didn't know that. I will be my second shot's this Sunday, but I didn't know that. I didn't read the fine print.
No,
Wait,
a lot,
you need to have a COVID vaccine in order to fly now?
Certain airlines, yeah.
certain airlines, American, I think Delta too.
Oh, that is absolutely wrong.
No, they're protecting themselves, liability, and they have a right.
No,
just
no,
hadn't
no
read it.
one should be forcing vaccines on anyone.
You're not forced
Go
to
back
fly
to the
the
body
airline.
image,
Exactly.
body image topic.
What?
Yeah,
Mara?
body image.
We're going to go into the body image topic some more, Gaye Ann.
Yeah, that's right, Mara. You and I will do that.
I have these 2 ladies who want to start training with me, and they were like, "We want to get rid of these," and they're showing me their
this,
And I'm like, "Well, pinch it," and I said, "Is that fat or is that skin?" And so they're pinching away. I'm like, "Honey, that's skin." They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No amount of push-ups is going to get rid of that. You can tighten up, like you can get muscle, you can get fit, but if that's just skin," and they're over 60, I'm like, "Plastic surgery," and they're like, "Really?" Like, yeah, they don't have collagen anymore. We're losing our collagen every single day. We're going to get jowls. We're going to get droopy skin. It's just life. And I'm not going to lie to them. I'm like, you can work out and we can make everything healthier in your immune system and your metabolism. But if you got saggy skin, plastic surgery or love yourself. And it was like a little bit of skin. And like, well, thank you for being so frank with us. And like one girl wanted to get rid of her cellulite behind her legs. I could barely tell. I'm like, "You're calling this cellulite?" She was in her 20s. I'm like, "Honey, cellulite is just tissue inside your
But you know what?
You're not
mean,
going to
the
get
thing
rid of it."
Skinny people, God bless them. You know, they got like skinny people are like rich people. They got problems, not so much. But it's about, it's like for me, I'm bad. I'm bad. I sit here and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and I said very blatantly, and I thought I heard it coming out of my mouth as I'm saying, because I don't think before I talk. It's just, I just talk, I blurt. And I'm like, I'm going to only date, my next girlfriend is only going to be, she's not going to be fat or overweight. I mean, she's not going to be skinny. Like she could be my size, maybe a little bit bigger, but other than that, off the checklist, And I'm sitting here going, and it's like what I described, who I want to date is who I want to be. That's what it's like. I want to be this person. And so it's not like I won't date them. It's I have to look back to me and say, you just described your perfect person. It's not to date, it's who you think you want to be, because that person doesn't matter who they are, whatever, who, it's about the inside, not about the outside. But because I have a self-image, I mean, I used to, like I said last show or 2 shows ago, I used to be a size 16. So I don't ever want to go and be that big again. But then I'm thinking, you know, and this sounds as horrible, I don't want to be with someone that big either. And part of me, and this is so fucking shallow, and I am not a shallow person, but it just creeps in from all my baggage, thinking, I don't want to be embarrassed to be with someone large as a partner.
Oh. I thought you didn't want to be with somebody that large because of their mindset, and so you were afraid to slip back into their habits, and that they.
Well, you know how couples
Exactly.
are, not all couples, but you know, like if, okay, I have seen this in couples. If one of them is, let's say, not even fit, just normal, like I'm fat-ish, you know, and then they get with someone that's larger, okay? I have seen the middle-sized person go up in weight, and now you've got 2 large people, and it's not.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily the trajectory for everyone.
No, but I've seen people do it. I'm not saying this is across the board. This is what happens, because then it should work the other way. If you're with someone thin, then you should be thin too. But I do notice that when people get maybe comfortable in relationships, and if their partner really doesn't take good care of themselves, then they kind of start to lose that too. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it like maybe 5 or 6 people that I know.
Well, I think this is like a very slippery slope conversation here, because I do view that God made us all a certain way. I can't help the fact that I'm small and petite, just like others can help the fact that they're big bone and bigger. It doesn't mean either one of us looks better than.
But it doesn't mean they're not good people. That's not my point.
No, I know, but let me tell you, I've seen skinny people, once they get in relationships, they go out and eat all the time. They gain 10, 15 pounds their first year. So it's skinny people, it's average people, heavy set people. And, you know, it's not that, you know, whoever said it earlier, that heavy set people have a certain mindset. They don't. They have a regular mindset just like the rest of us. Some people have slower metabolism. Some people just have their fat storages where they have their fat storages. You know,
that's what I was like. That's what I liked about Mara. That's what I liked what Mara said. That's why Mara has sent me, you know, these Instagram people and videos, because, you know, I'm looking at that. I'm like, you know, why can't, you know, they embrace who they are? Because we all have to love ourselves.
Well, so, you know, I will tell you, being in health and wellness for 25 years and running, you know, personal training studios and having my wellness company, everything else, no one loves the way they look, even the skinny girl.
Yeah,
exactly. I had the skinny girl that she was gorgeous. I think she was in her early 20s. And she like got the back of her leg and pushed it together where her hamstring is. And she goes, I have cellulite. I need liposuction. I'm like, no, you're literally keeping your skin together. That's what you go pumps. It's not cellulite. So I'm gonna
Roxanne, that's what I was telling you. I have young girls.
Roxanne and Ronnie. Hold on. Okay. Mara, and then we have Durga.
Yeah, I just want everybody, what has opened my mind by following these Instagram accounts over the last 6 months and being saturated in their posts. And then on the other hand, I have the before and after diet accounts that I watch too. What's saturating my mind and blowing my mind about these women is that they're right, that we have been in diet culture. And there has been a number done on all of us women. And I mean, men, that we have to shrink. We have to chisel ourselves down, and we have to apologize. Like we have all this shame tied up in being anything that isn't like a 9-year-old boy's body, you know? And I feel that it's not fair that we have grown up with these saturated, dieted images that are unattainable for a lot of us, unless you're just an Amazon woman and you're lucky that you're born that way. But you know, what I like and respect about them is they're trying to tell you that curves and being big is nothing to be ashamed of. And it should be more out there, and it should be, we have to start getting the eyes out there to start like feeling that this could be sexy as well. And that just hasn't happened. As long as I've been alive for 46 years, it's big has been the worst thing you could be.
And let me tell you, I would give anything to have
Hold
her.
on, calm down.
I'll jump after Durga.
All right, Durga Carla.
Okay, so what we have to realize is for the majority of human history, big women were seen as sexy, as feminine, as able to produce children. So fecund and fertile was seen as sexy. And it wasn't really until the 1960s when you had, and I hate to say it this way, but there were several very prominent gay male designers. They pushed the Shrimp and Twiggy as models that were these anorexic, almost boy-like, waif-looking girls. And I hate to say this because I don't know it for a fact, but it almost felt to me like there was some woman hating going on.
Yes.
And so we were taught to be ashamed of and hate our natural bodies. And we were not perfect unless we looked like Twiggy. This is when I was growing up in the 60s. And you had to be this anorexic, no boobs, no hips, no waist. Basically, your head looked too damn big on your body.
Yeah.
In order to be considered beautiful. And add to that, like when I was growing up, of course, Marsha Brady was the thing, and like Black girls, where were they? There weren't any. So I was like miles away from what the Eurocentric ideal of beauty was. And ever since that time, skinny has been in. And it's only now that the pendulum is swinging back because it's so much work, not to mention then you start adding Photoshop and all this other stuff, and people are creating these images in print and ads that no human woman can ever look like, ever. So, I mean, I'm kind of like exceptional in a way, because when I was in my, actually, this is probably my 30s. I don't know if I can show you this or not, but my body looked like this, okay? And I didn't do shit. I just looked like that, okay? And now that I'm older, I'm learning to embrace more of my curves, although I'm doing this weight loss thing now out of health reasons.
Yeah.
And because I feel better a little bit smaller. I don't want to get this skinny again because I had no boobs.
I know Carla's next, but I just got to say, right before Carla talks, I'm surprised that everybody's talking about sizes when anybody approaches me. I think of, are you healthy? And I start talking about the vital signs. I never look at the shape and size. We're all so different. And I don't like it when somebody calls me skinny. It just pings me like, I'm not skinny, I'm strong. Like they think they're complimenting me or something. I'm sorry, Carla, go ahead. You were next.
No, first of all, when we say I love you in the mirror, I think it really helps to wear a jaunty chapeau because I don't feel awkward at all.
Right.
I'm almost naked 24/7. First of all, I can't get enough of it. I'm a recovering nudist. You know, because where do you put your phone? So, but I can slip at any moment. I'll be like in a Trader Joe's parking lot pantless, and I embrace it. But I do, I'll like, just to add some levity, I do a whole bit about body shaming when I'm on stage. And I've actually had people say, well, I don't know if somebody who's on the thin side should be doing that. I'm like, I think it can be anyone. Yeah. And, you know, when I see someone, I don't say, are you skinny or are you healthy? I'm like, do you have any money? Because I'm a comedian. No. But I mean, to Durga's point, you know, obviously there was the painter Rubens and women were Rubenesque, and you had a pint of Haagen-Dazs and you sat and got your picture taken. And Marilyn Monroe, still one of the only icons, the model of beauty. And I tell people you're chasing them. So Marilyn was there and everybody wanted to have curves and their lady humps. And then Twiggy came and we all had to look, as we've said, like a 14-year-old boy with polio or rickets. I don't know what we're going for.
Right.
And then it was Fat Madonna. And then Kate Moss came and I'm like, oh, we got to do cocaine again. And I need to look like Hangman and heels. And then you know, like instead, and then all of a sudden it was the Kardashians and Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, look at my white flat ass. Someone help me out. So I just assume that it's never going to end. Like soon it will be like, you don't have, and I know this is one of Durga's jokes, you don't have a mole that looks like Pol Pot? Ew. Or what are you doing with still 2 breasts? Just 1 breast. Be a unicorn, bitch. Like it's never going to end. And it's also terribly subjective. We've all had a friend who's like, look at this. Isn't he hot or isn't she beautiful? And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so how the fuck could we ever look like what we think? We're not shapeshifters. Well, I mean, I am. But for the rest of you, it's difficult.
No, wait. No, you just reminded me of something. I'm on dating apps and stuff like that. And I just found this guy. How do people come up with their profile pictures? I swear to you, I sent a picture of this guy to my friend and I was like, does this not look like just out of frame? He's got a butcher knife and his eyes are like saying, hey, baby, let me come over and stab you in the neck, you know, because he looked like a serial killer.
Yeah.
Can you send them to me? You know I love serial killers. I would let Keith Morrison do unspeakable things.
By the way, if anyone is a fan of CSI, the original CSI, CBS just announced today we're coming back for a limited series. I don't know, so it's mine. So I'm really excited to work with the team again. Carla, I'm sure Criminal Minds will come back at some form or another. Why not? But I agree. And it's like, you know, if you're hearing everybody and listening, and, you know, it really does come down for me why I'm so judgmental. And I don't really want to be because I don't like to be. It's really me that I need to, going back to self-love, I need to be comfortable in my own skin. I mean, you know, again, I lost 32 pounds, not because I wanted to be skinny. Yeah, I mean, that was part of it, but I really started doing it to be healthy because as you get older, you can't work off those calories, you know? So I really decided to do a healthier lifestyle. And, you know, I'm fortunate that I did lose the weight. So it wasn't about vanity, but, you know, there's parts of me that as I was losing weight, I'm like, how come I'm losing it from the waist up? It's the bottom part that I'm more concerned about that I don't love. But you know what? But I have that kind of body. I have an hourglass figure. My mother had it. My grandmother had it. I mean, why I thought I would lose weight and have that flat-chested, like tiny little white person ass, I have no clue. But it's about, you know, me. And so, you know, and it's about against receiving, because when people go, oh God, Gaye Ann, you look great. You look this, you look that. I'm like, thanks. So I'm not even owning up to appreciating or giving myself credit for having a healthy lifestyle, because in my sicko mind, to some degree, I don't look like what I really wanted to look like after I lost 30 pounds.
How do you feel?
I feel great, but
that's it.
But the thing is, I think a lot of it has to do with like really horrible body image growing up, you know, for myself. Okay. I mean, if someone, even to this day, if someone as a joke says, oh, you're putting on some extra weight or you're getting some weight, I have to tell you, I go through such a little panic, and then I take it very personally. And like all of a sudden I'll start tearing up, but that goes back to my past, because I was always joked about that I was chubby or this. So, you know, and I'm working this through therapy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like trying to solve this shit myself, but I think a lot of, and I also work in Hollywood. I see actors and actresses all the time. And, you know, and you look at that and you go, you know, they're great, but why not me? So I have to sort of learning now to sort of, at 57, to sort of flip that switch and not make that such an important bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, I'm really fortunate, and I don't mean to sound conceited, but the majority of my life, I have been someone who's looked in the mirror naked and loved what they saw. I used to run around naked all the time because I really liked my body. And part of another reason why I'm changing stuff now is because I didn't like how it was looking. I mean, technically speaking, from my heaviest, like I was at my heaviest I've ever been in my life about a year ago. And I've lost 20 pounds since then. And I can see it in my face. I didn't like looking in pictures and on cameras with this fucking Zoom all the goddamn time, and seeing my face look all puffy and bloated, and I'm starting to look like me again, which I like. So don't do this for other people. Do it for you. If you're not feeling toned, if you don't like.
But I have a question, Durga. Ladies, what if I have a friend? I have a friend, and I lost weight, and she's excited that I lost weight. But I keep losing weight, not on purpose. It just is happening. I changed something out of my diet this week. I stopped sugar. I see what happens. And she says, you need to gain some weight. You're starting to look anorexic.
You don't look anorexic, Gaye Ann. That's
you look healthy.
You look healthy.
Thank you. And it's like, for me, to me, that's a slam. It's a way. It's like, and she's like, I think you have a eating disorder. And I'm thinking, well, you never have met someone with an eating disorder.
Right.
I have.
Look, everybody has their perspective of what they're looking at, and for whatever reasoning, they feel that their opinion should be told to you. And it's like everyone has buttholes. They're like opinions. It's the same thing. Right. What I'm trying to say is you didn't ask. You didn't ask for her opinion.
Or it might be a reflection of what she's feeling. It might be a reflection of something she's feeling inside.
Yeah, she's transferring her issues onto you.
Next time you see this person and she says, you look like you have an eating disorder, you should go, bitch, I love my body right now. I love how I feel. If you don't like it, you can step the fuck off. And my big black friend Durga said for me to tell you that. It's my big round Italian ass, because I love it. Mwah, vaffanculo. Okay?
There you go.
You got to have friends. That's why I love this show. We all sort of have each other's backs. And then, when all else fails, you just call Durga and she'll kick their ass.
And this may sound like a really dumb question, but does it change your singing when you lose a lot of weight or gain a lot of weight?
No.
It's the same musical.
I've never gained so much weight that it could change my voice. I mean, I've heard that some singers have more resonance with more weight on.
Like the opera people.
Yeah.
They said that, like Leontine Price. They said that, I think her name is Leontine Price and Beverly
No, she was a dancer.
No, there was somebody. There was an African-American opera singer. I forgot her name. Then there was Beverly Sills. And
Mahalia Jackson.
No, but they always say that, if you're larger, it's more, as you were saying, more resonance. But I don't know.
You can't lose weight because then you'll change. It's like,
I've never been so big that it changed my voice. But I was a lot skinnier when I started. So, no.
Well, ladies, it's 8:18. We've got about 12 minutes left. It's way past Carla's bedtime.
It really is. I got to get up early on.
All right, you leave. Carla, where you can leave. We'll stay on. Where can people find you, and tell us what to promote, and then we'll continue.
And tell us what to promote. Okay.
Tell us what to promote, Carla Collins.
Well, you can find me at Carla Collins Comedian or comedicmeditation.com, carlacollins.com. But yeah, mostly I wanted to, because listen, it's pretty rare that anybody gets to put out an album this year in the world of comedy. I, in between shutdowns, got to perform 2 shows. I think that both you and Durga may know the venue, the El Macombo, which is quite iconic in Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
And so I had an amazing editor, and it's come out really well. It's called Pandepic, but it's not just all about COVID, but it's all about it's a nice screenshot of this last year. So I would love people to, I think the idea is pre-sales on iTunes. Oh, you'll love this. There's been a bit of a fuck up, and it's listed as new age, because that's how my life goes. And I'm like, and if you saw the album cover, which is clutch.
Naked?
What's that?
Are you naked on the album cover?
You wish. Would you buy it if I was? Because
I would. You know what? I would do it. I'll buy it. I would promote it. I would do whatever you want. Flash me anytime.
But I'd love for people to go and, the pre-orders, it's cheap as chips. It's like $10. It's a way to promote or to, support a comedian, and pre-sales. And anyway, it's out April 9th. So if you want to do pre-sales or April 9th, that would be terrific. That's all I wanted to promote. It's so great to meet all you ladies. And well,
And by the way, Carla's signing off, but as whoever doesn't know, she was part of the second incarnation of BTS, and she's always welcome to come back. And you know, she said, "Take me off that damn chain." I'm paraphrasing. It's too much. When I'm available, you're on the first and third. I'll let you know. And surprisingly and happily, she said, "Hey, I'll come on Friday." So you keep doing that because we love to have you, Carla. We love you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hello.
Nice to meet you,
meeting
ladies.
you, Carla.
Bye.
Great to meet you guys. And Durga, I want to turn you out.
Au revoir, ma chérie. Oh, what, me? Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. Black Floyd, my album with my sister Laura.
We're not done yet, Durga. Carla's gonna
I
leave.
was leaving.
I thought you said me. Okay.
No, I said, Durga, I want to turn you out because that's what you said to me when we did something while back.
Okay.
So.
I was just say,
doing a
if you're
holler
ever
back.
naked anywhere, there's always a place to put your phone. Just keep it on vibrate, baby.
Okay, and that's a mic drop. Mwah. Bye, ladies.
Love you. Bye. So
That was a good one, Durga.
Hilarious. I wanted to ask Mara. You said you were sorry when Gaye Ann was going to a collar, and I just want to tell you guys something. I don't know if you found this, Roxanne, but whenever I trained women in the gym, and I adjust them or I hold it this way, not that way, or no, not like this, they say they're sorry. Through an entire session, they're always, I'm sorry. I'm not one man that I have ever trained when I adjust them or say, you want your knee a little bit further back. Okay. Now, one guy says sorry, but women are constantly saying, I'm sorry, like 10 times an hour.
I do. I am so guilty of that, not in the gym, obviously, but I am so guilty of that. If someone says something, I'm like, I'm sorry. Or if I bump into, or if it's the weirdest shit. I mean, and I'm like, where did I get that from? I'm not so, I mean, you know, why am I apologizing for nothing? I mean, sometimes
I know. I'm that way too. I've been noticing it at the market just incessantly. Like someone bumps into me and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Exactly.
It's like, it's like, I think that's just part of me, like used to keeping the peace all the time and avoiding conflict and low self-esteem, honestly.
Unlike Tristan.
That's a wait, I gotta ask something since you mentioned that, Gaye Ann. Yeah. Every time we skirt on a subject where people could come into conflict on this show and actually talk about something that like really was intense, you always shut it down. Why do you do that?
I can tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, because I listen to these shows after, and it's different than being in a studio. When you are on Zoom and there is a heated thing and everybody jumps on the bandwagon, it is noise. You can't hear anything. It cancels everything out. So that is, am I right, Christian, that's what it sounds like when everyone's just jumping on? It's different. It is when you're in the studio. We've had heated arguments in the studio. We've, you know, God knows Tristan and I go at it. But I mean, but it's like, but you're right there in person, and it's not annoying. It is annoying on this thing. It is absolutely annoying, and it bothers me. So I don't have tolerance for that. So I would rather, like, if we do have topics that come up or heated things, then maybe all of us should just know that and not jump on each other. But that's part of the thing, is someone says something, you want to jump on it. So it's very difficult how to manage it on Zoom, which is why I can't wait to get back in the studio. Yeah. But that is the biggest thing, is not that I don't want to skirt. And quite frankly, you know, there are some topics we've had talked about ad nauseum, and I don't want to keep repeating shit on the show, to be honest. And you know, that's really all it is. It's not like, you know, and I'm not defending myself. I feel like, I mean, I'm not defending myself or how I run my show, but it's just, it really is very chaotic. And I don't even participate sometimes. And when I see you guys all go at it, I'm here going, I got to shut it down, because it is annoying the fuck out of me.
And just to let you know, if someone accidentally bumps into me at the store, I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'll say, excuse you.
That's what I mean. Mara and I are cut from the same cloth. Mara and I are fucking apologizing to people because, I mean, Mara and I try and keep the peace. You like to stir up the shit.
I'm an Aries, baby. I'm ready.
We should always be polite, and eat dirt once in a while. But I just noticed that women are constantly saying they're sorry for no reason. If you did something, of course, say you're sorry. But women are constantly, I'm sorry during conversations. I'm like, why? There's no need to be sorry. I think we've been conditioned that way.
It's weird that men don't. I don't know of many men that go around saying they're sorry all the time.
Especially to each other, like, all right, okay, bud. Yeah, you got it. But they don't say they're sorry.
Here's an interesting experiment I want you all to try. Well, once we're back out in public, walking down the street, someone mentioned to me that a lot of times when you're walking towards somebody, men will not get out of your way and they expect you to get out of their way. And I've stopped doing it because I realized I was, and I stopped doing it. And I just look at them like, well, I'm walking here, you move. And people will I'm a big bitch, so they'll get out of my way. But it's very
COVID is kind of hard.
Well, no, we're back to normal, but you're right. Look, we're going to wrap up because we've got like 4 minutes. But yeah, obviously this culture is it's always been male dominated, white male dominated. Period. It always has been here, the world. I don't know one country where, one country where women sort of, have,
dominance.
Like size. Yeah, dominance. I don't. So, which is interesting because, women back in old days, women were the matriarchs, And when did that take its power shift? And by taking that, it's taken our power away. So, again, I know this show, I just love when the girls talk because we talk about things that it's a woman's show. Not that I want to alienate any gentleman, but, it's about topics that really affect us. And I love and thank each and every one of you for being vulnerable, to discuss things that, it's on the air. It's not like we're having a phone call. I appreciate all of you for being open and honest and I appreciate all the listeners and viewers to have us come into your living room or wherever you watch us or listen to us. And for the brave ones that call in, we don't bite, it's always about I know you do. It's about getting other people's perspectives, and yeah, if there's something that's controversial, or you disagree with us, certainly call in. This is an open forum. I just, shut things down because it just gets a little noisy and then no one's making their point. And I think everybody needs to be heard in a society where women are not heard a lot. I want to create a forum here where we have a voice to be heard, whether people agree with us or not, because guess what? It's about loving yourself, standing in your truth, be who you are, and really, I think I have to learn with not being that kind of, in a way, a people pleaser just to keep the peace. And sometimes, not getting my stuff out there. And then I feel I'm not listened to and I'm being, quelched. Well, you know what? I'm responsible for me. I am responsible for that. And I shouldn't be resentful. So ladies, find your voice. We all have the power. Let's band together. And, women power, I think we're all just beautiful and unique. And, we're all working on each other as long as you strive to be a better person. And, start with yourself. Start to make yourself whole before you start to try and fix others. Start within yourself. And it's not fixing. It's, what's that word? Renovation. I think in my 50s, I'm renovating myself. So thank you, ladies, for watching. Thank you. We're on the first and third Friday of every month here on United Broadcasting Network. Find me on Instagram, QTE Brat. Please follow our Between the Sheets Facebook page. You'll see, you can look at and listen to this podcast on any of the platforms where podcasts are offered. You can watch the video version of this on YouTube. And let's go around the room. I want to thank my lovely ladies. Ronnie, where are you? Where can they find you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook now at Hey Ronnie Fitness Coach. Hey Ronnie Fitness Coach. I'm Ronnie Lowe, Ronnie LOA on Instagram and Clubhouse and Twitter. See you there.
Thank you. Durga?
Durga McBroom on Facebook, on my personal page and my fan page, on Twitter at Mrs. Durga McBroom. My Instagram is Durga Diva. And also look for the McBroom Sisters page and look where you can buy Black Floyd, because it's a pretty damn good album.
Thank you. And Roxanne, or otherwise known as Tristan, where can people find you?
You can find me at roxannerosen.com. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And Marshane.
You can find me on, let's see, Marshane on Facebook, Marshane Art on Instagram, Marshane Comedy on Facebook as well. Thank you. It's always a great show. It was great being on. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Christian, for being back at the studio and being a great, whatever you do, you're doing it well. I appreciate it. Producer, whatever, I don't care. He's fabulous. And thank you, ladies, to everyone who called in and being part of it. Thank you again, Carla, up in Canada. And, who knows what the mix will be, in a couple of weeks. So thank you again. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. It's over now, a couple of hours. I thank you. I appreciate all of you. Please spread the word that the show is on the first and third Friday of every month. And after this, I'll be running some watch parties, and maybe Mara will do a watch party. So you'll find us. Thank you again, and have a great night. And as always, namaste.
Thank you.
Cue the music, Christian. Christian.